Hey everybody, it's Marty the JavaScript party and my buddy Rhett. We are coding. I just got done with my use it or lose it video. It's only 17 minutes and 25 seconds. It's a beautiful spring day. I have a million things I want to do outside, and I guess it's time. It's time to kind of tighten up these videos because last week and before this, because it is what March 8th, we're the beginning of spring. It was didn't make any sense to get stuff done because we're stuck inside. But now I need to get moving. So the how did we get here? How did we get here? Okay, so the thing is okay. So I was trying to create unit tests. I was trying to run my unit tests. One of them was failing, and the reason it was failing is because there's like a new input type called signals, and sort of there was this move forward in technology, and the unit tests didn't quite keep up with them, and now things are breaking, and so now there's a way to do it by creating a wrapper, blah blah blah. So I got it all working, but at this point the unit tests have shown me that I have 30% of the code inside of AppViz are gone. So then I came up with sort of this scheme. Okay, I should be able to handle if a renderer doesn't exist. And basically, I thought through that. And that's exactly what I would have done yesterday if I was working and I was like someplace I needed to get my story done, and I ran across this thing. I would just like come up with something workaround like this. But I don't think so. After having a whole night to kind of think through it, I think that what the unit tests have done is they've exposed a problem with a foundational problem that is not a big deal now, but has a lot of potential to be a big deal. And I don't even know if it's a problem. I'm just sort of thinking it's possible. So I don't think that is the right path. I think the right path um, is just to acknowledge that Viz component is sort of doing things that it probably shouldn't be doing. Really, I think all Viz component should be doing is handling the visualization. It shouldn't be trying to figure it. Like, this is all it should know. This little piece of that's all it should know. And then there's really no reason that I would do this if this doesn't exist, right? So I think it makes more sense to do all of this stuff inside of here. And let's just see if that will work, if there's a problem with that. I don't think there is a problem with that, either from a... Now this will break my unit test, but I don't think it'll break because the renderer doesn't exist. So we should have a broken unit test when this is done. Um, and this is showing unit tests. And I don't know if the unit tests are running. Let's see if it breaks that. So the application does not get broken. Pretty sure that built. Let's go back, look over here. Here, yeah, so that it doesn't have any problems there. Everybody's happy over here. Don't need this new tab. I don't think this one is happening because I'm pretty sure that should have broken a unit test. But maybe not. Yeah, no, it should have because the... Let me see. Let's see. And see, this dash dash code coverage is why this exists. Here we go. And it kind of gives you like hope. It's like you'll start to see all these. Ooh, I got 2 broken unit tests now, right? Um, oh, and that's because I ended up creating um, 2 unit tests, which I don't think I even want that second unit test anymore. Um, uh, so we all really should make sure it does is it creates a visualization component. We're going to get rid of this because I think that was a bad idea. And that's kind of like one of the reasons you do something like this on the side, because you don't have time to think through things like that at work. Even if they give you a lot of time, it's just like, like it would take a tremendous amount of discipline just to kind of shut everything down and then think through the night about it. And then, because I could have knocked it out yesterday in an 8-hour shift. I could have just had all that stuff knocked out. And I don't know why, but it's not, the watch is not working. I'm having to stop and start it every time. Um, so, anyways, I think the correct solution, the proper solution, is to create a service and call this, that's a viz, that's bound to this viz component. And the job of the service is to do all of this stuff. So we should only have one fail since we deleted the other one, which is, you know. So all of this, like literally all it should say is service.render. And that service.render should return a true or false, which I don't care about right now, but I will care about in the future. Um, and then service.render should figure out how to deal with when something doesn't exist, like just returns as truth or false. So it will take a couple of steps to do that. And first step will be to create a service. And we want it to be in this components. So let's find our components. And so, and that does, I think that does argue for one of the things that the folks over at, or at least the lead engineer over at on the Angular team says, and he says, he thinks it's having services, having components, that's a, that is an anti pattern, that that's like something that he sees organizations that fail do quite often. So I think that is a pretty good indication that the man knows of what he speaks. Viz. So this should create a viz service inside of that. That's what I'm hoping. I guess I should call it visualization service. And I don't want that comma there. And we'll hit save. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop unit testing for the moment. We'll come back to that. And apparently that is misspelled, and that is a good reason to fix that. Components, visualization. So what we're expecting to see is a file, a service, and a spec show up in here. I wonder if I want it to be in a services folder. I think I do. I don't think I like the idea of having, I don't know, the 6 files. I'll have 6 files there. Yeah, I think it's okay. Okay. So I'm going to save this, and I'm going to run that. And I'm going to cross my fingers that these now have 2 more siblings. This. And this should, it always takes a little second to create it. Yeah, so they're in the correct thing. And so basically, I think all I want to do is, so basically all of this code needs to go into a function inside of that service. And then that service should do all of this and return a true or a false if it worked. and um, and if it, and then that should be very, very easy to write unit tests around because it's not no longer a signal or anything like that, and um, I'm not returning anything from this. So basically, we just want to make sure that and really what we're testing, if you think about it, is like it is very, 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 very likely that there's going to be a timing change. That so at some point, I've experienced this over and over again, that I'll do an upgrade and then ng after view init isn't. This thing doesn't exist. This native element thing just doesn't exist. And and I think the unit test. Well, I guess the unit test won't catch it because what do I expect in the unit test? The unit test really won't catch anything, but yeah, it would be kind of nice. I guess that's the thing is what we want the unit test. I don't know what we want the unit test to do, to be if I'm being completely honest with you. Um, but anyways, it will be easier to create unit tests. It'll be easier to test that this code is executing. It'll be easier to set up a whole renderer and do all the different pieces. Where are we? So we're at 12 minutes. It is a beautiful Saturday, so I want to get outside and do some stuff, and I still have to do my voice analyzer video. So I'm going to call it quits for today, and tomorrow I'm going to migrate the code over into the visualization, this code into the visualization service, and then I'm also going to bring the service in. I don't know what the right word for that. I'm going to instantiate an instance of the service, and I'm going to use the inject function to get a copy, to get an instance of the singleton that is our visualization, um, and then and then and then call the function that is going to be. It's probably going to be like visualization service dot render, and literally all it's going to do is call all these things, um, and that will be cool. I think that's all I need to do. Um, and then we'll write unit tests. We'll update the visualization service unit tests, and then we should be able to easily get 100% coverage. I can't remember though, like, do we ever get into this? I can't. Oh man, I don't even know. Do we get in there? That is the question, right? Like, so if I drag this guy over here, blocked. Mm, Haro? Yeah, that's weird. That is so funny. Oh, because I got rid of, I don't know. That's weird. So I want to see if it actually gets in there at all. Yeah. Oh, that's why. Yeah. So it does get in there. So the native element. So yes, it will in fact. Yes, my coverage will drop to less than 100 if the timing of ng view init becomes, for some reason, now this when this happens, if this render view child native element doesn't exist, we'll end up losing 100%, and then that'll be a pretty good indication that something broke, and then we'll have to write some sort of code around that. Oh, okay, and while I'm here, I just want to check something, just because I remembered it and I need to check this all the time. I'm always looking for that. The something was drawn before something crazy console log that loves to show up. So, anyways, happy coding, everybody. Bye.